Canelo is 2-weight class, 3-weight classes, 4-weight classes above me, because you don't know what weight he fighting at when he fighting at it. Canelo really don't interest me because of the size factor.
Hey, what's going on, Ringsiders? This is your host, Boxing's Objective Observer, and welcome back to Ringside Stories. Or if you're new, we make content regarding boxing through mini documentaries, backstories, and much more. So if you enjoy that type of content, feel free to subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for the latest here on Ringside Stories. Thanks so much for your support in advance, and welcome to the channel.
The undisputed welterweight champion of the world, Terence
Crawford is the undisputed best in the welterweight division, and with such a virtuoso, dominant performance over former undefeated unified welterweight world champion Errol Spence Jr., the question becomes, what is next for Terence "Bud" Crawford? I personally don't wish to see the Crawford versus Spence rematch. I think Terence Crawford is simply too good for Spence. There's no time to make major adjustments for Spence. Crawford is technically superior, and the beating he gave Spence can not only jeopardize Errol Spence's boxing career, but the truth's overall health. And so although I give Terence Crawford full credit for his first ballot Hall of Fame performance against Errol Spence Jr., I do not like to see the Crawford versus Spence rematch, because I'd like to see Terence Crawford's greatness on full display, fighting other guys to cement his boxing legacy. Now, before we discuss 3 potential opponents for Terence Crawford, let's start with a dark horse, Keith Thurman.
I already said I'm next, baby. They already know. You want to keep doing great fights. You want to keep selling out. You want to do these pay-per-views. Thurman right here, baby. Thurman has no fear, baby.
Sure, I know many of you will be rolling their eyes, since Thurman has been more talk than fight, especially in recent memory. That said, Crawford versus Thurman could be an entertaining fight from a stylistical point of view, and boxing simply needs entertaining fights.
Spence has never fought an athlete. That's why I stick boxing and stick and move. You got to get in your groove, and Crawford got in his groove.
A long time ago, Keith Thurman was heralded as the direct successor of the Mayweather era. At one point, one time held the WBA and WBC World Welterweight titles, with great wins over former champs Showtime Shawn Porter and Danny Swift Garcia. Is Thurman making a comeback, even though many boxing fans don't consider Thurman a top welterweight at the moment? That said, one time still is somewhat of a name, and given his style and vulnerabilities, Crawford versus Thurman could be an entertaining fight should it happen.
Everybody talk about something, you don't fight enough. You don't fight it. You got all this ring rust, yada, yada, yada. I need to just work. Let me get back to work. Let me get this ball rolling, going, and then hopefully, like I've always done, I've made some of the biggest, baddest, and exciting fights in the welterweight division.
I'd like to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Live Good. Live Good is a company which promotes 100% organic supplements. These have great benefits for better stamina and great health overall. Not only that, they are promoted at an extremely affordable price. Now, I personally love these supplements because of the fact that Live Good allows you to make money at the comforts of your own home. Click the link in the description box below and take the free tour for more information.
Jermell Ennis.
Number 1, Jermell Ennis.
I can't wait to take their cheese. I can't wait to take your cheese. You know, just keep saying that, keep doubting me, you know.
And Toronto in trouble again. His legs are not getting it done, and he is down, and he is out.
So you want that now? Terence Crawford's your first option.
Definitely, that's the first option. I want that now.
The current IBF interim welterweight champion is currently undefeated in 32 fights, with 28 wins coming by way of stoppage with 1 no contest. Jermell Ennis is a talented boxer, which even Terence Crawford himself has acknowledged.
I always said Boots was a great talent. I always told everybody that I supported them. I've been supporting them since he was in the amateurs. You know, I kind of see myself in him.
Jermell Ennis has looked spectacular against some fighters, although the vast majority of Ennis's resume so far aren't much to write home about. However, the intrigue a Crawford versus Ennis fight has is the potential longevity, similar to when Floyd Mayweather Jr. schooled Saul Canelo Alvarez in September of 2013, resulting in the Mexican's first defeat as a professional. After the Mayweather loss, Canelo went on a near 10-year undefeated streak, winning world titles in 4 different weight classes, including a historical run at 168, becoming its first undisputed world champion in less than 12 months. So Mayweather's win over Saul Canelo Alvarez aged superbly, and since Jermell Ennis seems to be the heir apparent, a win over Boots could add some more flavor to Crawford's impressive body of work. With that said, Terence Crawford has hinted at moving up in weight, dismissing a Jermell Ennis fight in the near future.
Of course, it's always about the win. I can't say I'm the best guy in my era when there's still one guy at Mount Rushmore sitting beside me. I got to be up there by myself. So of course this fight matters, of course, and yes, he deserved a title shot. He deserved it all. His time will come, but right now, business is business.
And from a business point of view, the fight against Jermell Ennis is fairly high risk, low reward, especially since Bud defeated Errol Spence Jr. in a high profile fight which had crossover and mainstream appeal. So the question is, will Crawford versus Ennis happen ever? Number 2, Jermell Charlo. Terence Crawford already went back and forth with the current undisputed champion in the 154-pound division.
I would definitely choose Jermell Charlo. It's a meaningful fight. There's more history. It's more on the table.
I was already talking about moving up in weight and challenging Charlo, so 54 wouldn't be outreach of anything.
Don't ask me about Crawford because that ain't in my division. I get it. He won the undisputed, right? At 147 and 140. How are we talking about somebody that ain't even fought in the division? How do he just jump from there to there? Like what connection do he got to this world?
Many will argue that Charlo has been more talk than fight when it comes to his activity in the sport of boxing. That said, Jermell Charlo has proven to be a fantastic talent. Unlike Jermell Ennis, a much more stellar resume, cleaning out his division with impressive wins over the likes of former world titleists Austin Trout, Tony Harrison, and former undefeated unified world champion Jason Rosario. Charlo's most recent performance was against undefeated then WBO 154-pound champion Brian Castaño in their rematch for the undisputed crown at super welterweight or junior middleweight. Unlike the first fight, which many say Castaño won, Jermell made the necessary adjustments, leaving absolutely no doubt who the man is in the 154-pound division. There is some needle between Crawford and Jermell Charlo, given that Errol Spence Jr. is a stablemate and sparring partner of Mel's, being trained by the same trainer Derek James, and the fact Terence Crawford destroyed Spence, taunting at the current 154-pound champion, upping the ante. Even if Jermell Charlo loses his upcoming fight against Saul Canelo Alvarez, he still holds the vast majority of world titles at 154. And so in the meantime, Terence Crawford can set his eyes on number 3, Tim Tszyu.
Anyone can get it. I'm the man now at 154. Charlo's gone up, so hopefully the belts get vacated and we get to fight for the belts and show who the true boogeyman of the division really is.
Born on May 16, 1994, and son of former undisputed 140-pound world champion Kostya Tszyu. Unlike many sons of former world champions, Tim has really come into his own in recent years, making a name for himself, emerging as one of Australia's most popular active boxers. Tszyu was born in Sydney, Australia, turned professional in 2016, claiming some local and regional talents in the 154-pound division. Tim Tszyu, aka the Soul Taker, is currently undefeated in 23 professional fights, 17 of them coming by way of stoppage. Tszyu has notable wins over former world title challengers such as Dennis Hogan, Takeshi Inoue, and Carlos Ocampo, as well as former world title holders Tony Harrison and fellow Aussie Jeff Horn. At the making of this recording, Jermell Charlo is the undisputed world champion at 154, and Tim Tszyu holds the WBO interim title. However, since Charlo failed to fulfill his mandatory obligations by fighting Canelo in September of 2023, Tim Tszyu will be elevated to full WBO champion the moment the bell rings for Canelo versus Charlo. Just like in 2018 as the undisputed best at 140, Terence Crawford's first fight at 147 was a shot at then undefeated world champion Jeff Horn, as per WBO rules, being their super champion. As the undisputed world champion at 147, Bud, as the WBO super champion once more, can challenge Tim Tszyu for a straight shot at the world title in the 154-pound division.
Just his patience and his balance. I really enjoyed watching his balance and just simple adjustment like a power jab. That's what caused everything.
Again, no disrespect to Errol Spence Jr., who I rate as a fantastic fighter, yet at this point in time is just not good enough to beat Terence Crawford. Even at 154, I see Crawford beating Spence, maybe even worse than at 147. Terence Crawford beat the former undefeated unified welterweight champion of the world fair and square with a first ballot Hall of Fame performance. However, the beating was so big that Errol Spence's boxing career and even his health down the line is in jeopardy, especially if Errol Spence Jr. proceeds with the immediate rematch against Terence Crawford. That is the reason why I think the Crawford-Spence rematch should be scrapped for now. Let us know what you think. Who do you want to see Terence Crawford fight next? Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you enjoy content like this and you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for the latest here on Ringside Stories. Thanks so much for your support. It means a lot, as it does well for the algorithm. Now, if you've done that already, you're amazing. We already know that you are the true undisputed world champion. Till next time, Ringsiders, this is your host, Boxing's Objective Observer with Ringside Stories. Thanks for watching and have a legendary day.